Good evening, Davy. I hope you're well, and anybody else that's watching or listening to this. I wanted to do a quick video to help you understand some of the principles of our game. I know you haven't had pre-season with us, so that hasn't helped with understanding of how we play, how we set up, etc. So just this video is really about our principles and how you can help yourself in some of these situations to either hold on to the ball for a little bit longer, and what are some of the things that the players around you are thinking about. What I will say is this team is very, very clever. So we talk about when you've got the ball, as in when you Davey, have got the ball, how are those players helping and supporting you around you? And what three options do you always have on? So you will always have three options on. It's just how you identify those options through balls through gaps, balls backwards, or trying to play that switch across field. So when we're talking about these clips, we'll talk about two phases of play: when we've got the ball, which is in possession, and also when we haven't got the ball, which we know is out of possession. So those two phases are really, really important for us. During this game, what we wanted to do is dominate when we haven't got the ball, as well as dominate. We always dominate when we've got the ball, but this game was about how do we dominate when we haven't got the ball. So without further ado, I shall start the clip. So first clip here is really good starter position from you. You are high and wide, and whenever we're on the left hand side of the pitch and you're playing right striker, the objective for our left hand players is, can we work the switch? Can we get the switch over? So we connect through our CDM. Which was Husey, and then we play to our right-sided midfielder. What the right-sided midfielder's job is then is to drive towards this player and make him make a decision. Does he come to Freddie or does he stay with you? If he comes to Freddie will pop it off into the gap. And if he stays with you, then you can beat him with a bit of clever movement as well. So you see that gap just open up then, because this player now is in what we call no man's land. Now, your run needs to be heading towards the goal. Your body position's fantastic. You're onside, and the ball needs to be played, so your first touch can be in towards the goal. Okay, so first touch now. Can you play your first touch in towards the goal? Now, interestingly, what was that? I did put some annotation on this, so apologies. Yeah, so your movement towards the goal, and then this touch here. So couple of things here. Don't panic. Let the game play out in front of you. As long as you're holding on to that ball, things are changing on the game. Things are changing in the game. So if you just put your foot on the ball here, everybody stops, but Tom Cutler doesn't. Tom Cutler runs through, and can you pop that ball through? He's then got a one-on-one because this defender's out of the game. So just a pop through there, what we would call is play through, play on and beyond the defender. If you play this square here, he will have to check. So we always want the ball in front of our players. And could you make this defender, even if you cut inside here, could you make that defender come towards you and maybe even take some contact in the box, and sort of buy yourself a penalty? Probably a bit of nerves. Listen, I have no qualms about you taking a shot there, by the way, pal. I think it's fantastic that you got a shot away as quickly as you did when you came onto the pitch. Settle down now. You've got that shot away, and can you start playing the way that we really want you to in this team? So when we regain possession here, which we do, I want you to be on your toes, looking for the gaps. So really good press here from Tom Cutler. We win the ball back here. Now, your body language, interestingly, and I think this is your grassroots in experience here, you want the ball to feet, whilst this player here is phenomenal at finding. So Jamie's phenomenal at finding gaps. So Jamie's expecting the ball to be played into here for you to run onto. So if your starting position's higher and wider and running towards goal, the reason why we want you high and wide is because your angle of run is diagonal towards the goal. So your first touch can be towards the goal opposed to away from the goal, like we do here, because you're actually in a deeper position. So if you were higher and wider, your first touch, you'd be receiving the ball here, and look how that game changes if you're receiving the ball here and you're in front of that defender, because you're anticipating it. And again, this is your first game, your first sort of kick off with us. We're very direct when it comes to these type of passes. Now, look at the support coming here. So now you're probably used to just crossing it here and hoping someone gets to it. The way that we play, we like to build up. So now you've secured the ball. Fantastic, great job. Now look at how the support is coming back to you here. So the whole purpose of what you're doing in this spot here is we want to score on the left-hand side. So think about, if this ball was on the left-hand side, we want you to score as the wide right striker. If the ball's on this position, we want our left striker to score. So how do we get it across to them? Through real patient build-up play. So look how the support comes in here as we're trying to cross it into. If we look at this cross here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players against 2. Okay, so we would call this an underload. More defensive players than attacking players, and therefore can we build and then create the overload on the opposite sides of the pitch. If I just move me over here, if you look at this here, we want these two players to be getting onto the ball. So if we come backwards and then play through the switch, through what we would call the pivots, we can then play this player in who's got a 1v1 in this situation here, and that's really what we're trying to get out of when we're in possession on these on the opposite side. Okay, so next clip. Really like your starting position here. I think it's fantastic that you're listening to the coaching points of being that midfielder when we're out of possession. And you're switching in between in and out in possession here. So your position's going to be in that interim. Get ready to pounce. So if you look at this now, Tom Cutler's stopping that pass, and this player would be brave to pass to this one. So to me, there looks like there's only one pass here. Can we get ready to pounce? Can we get ready to pounce and read that pass? So we're going backwards, well recognised. So Tom Cutler cuts this side of the pitch off because he curls that run. Don't know if you notice, you can rewind it, have a look at how he curves his run at the last second. Now, he cuts this side of the pitch off, which is great. Now, can you be closer to this? Can you recognise that press to get ready to pounce? This pass here is the only option. It's the only option for the goalkeeper to play. Now, as it happens, you win the ball back. Well done. Now, in this position here, I want you to think about the three options. So just look at how the left-hand side is what we would call overloaded. So we've got two players running on that left-hand side here. I'm going to pause it in a second. Now, these are the three options. All of these three options need to be ground passes, by the way, because if the ball's up in the air, we've got less chance of controlling, especially in the box. We want your delivery to be able to play what we would call a first-time finish. So you've got Tom Cutler that could break the line there. Look how this defender is committing to stopping that cross. They think you're going to cross, and actually you do cross. He fails to stop it. Now, if Tom Cutler runs in here, can you slide it through to him? It would be the first option. That would always be my number one option, because actually you're playing him into what we would call the half space for him to either finish or pull back to Harrison. You've also got the penalty spot, which Tom Will Hughes is running into. So could we take an extra touch, so pretend to cross, take an extra touch and then play that ball back? Or we've got Harrison. Can you find Harrison with a ground pass, with a real firm ground pass? And as it happens, the ball goes up in the air and we're unable to finish. I think we should score in that position. But look, again, second second real chance in the half that you create. So fantastic that you're getting into those positions. Great win back, and lovely feet, and well done for finding Tom Cutler there. Fantastic hunger to get back onto the ball. So really like that clip, pal. Love how you're working to get onto the ball, and also driving forward with it. Stay on the ball is my only advice to you. If you look at how you stayed on the ball, then you're absolutely fantastic. 2 seconds, my Wi-Fi's dropped. First world problem. Sorry, 2 seconds. Oh yeah, come on. There we go. Right, okay. So next clip. Love how we build up here, by the way. And look at your starting position. So this is exactly where I want you to be when you're in that position. Can your first touch now be into what we would call the half space? So just really, really quickly around what I would call swimming lanes on the football pitch. So the wide area, I hate the wide area. I hate the wide area to receive the ball, especially when we're going down the line. What I love is getting into the half spaces. So the half spaces are these two either side of the central channel. Now, if you think about, I'm a Liverpool fan, so Trent Alexander-Arnold or Andy Robertson back in the pomp of Liverpool's days, I'd say that 70% of their assists came from playing pullbacks from the half space into Sadio Mane or Mo Salah or Bobby Firmino that was waiting in the box, being the fox in the box. So try and get into those half spaces and work the cutbacks, which would be on the floor passes, backwards towards the penalty spot or towards the 6-yard box. Now, as it happens, you drive into the half space. But look, you're getting ready now for a lofted cross. Just bide your time, cut back. If you look at the options, again, you've got 3 options that are available to you. But you've got to cut back. You've got to hold on to that ball for a little bit longer. You've got Jamie that you could play through there. You've got Will Hughes that's playing here. And you've also got, I think, Jamie Smith running into this space as well from the left wing. So just think about how you can predict and see these things now on the pitch. You know that's how we set up when you're in those wide player spaces or in the half space. That's the play that we want. Jamie takes the central defender away. So that movement there would take this player into this space, which then leaves this channel open for us to find the penalty spot. If you pretend to cross but carry on running, you may take some contact to win the penalty, or can you work that pull back? You nearly score off that. So what do I know about coaching sometimes, eh? But all these points are about higher probability of us getting goals, higher probability of us connecting as a team. Oh, sorry, what did it say then? Sorry, let's just restart that clip. 60 minutes. So short clip, but well done looking for the middle option here. Yes, I remember this one. So we win the ball back. Hughes gets it here. You're looking for receiving down the line. You're receiving to feet, and then you're finding the middle. Really important that you find the middle there. And then get on your bike. I know there was a foul somewhere here, so the referee pulls it back. But as soon as Tom Cutler gets it, look at that space that's going to be open for you here. So, you've only got those 2 players around you. And this centre-back here will stay with Jamie, I reckon, which then leaves you all that space for you to run into. So as soon as you play that central ball, get on your bike and try break some lines. Reet. Let's have a look at this one. So you're in this space here, which is a good starting position. Okay, so in this picture, you don't always have to drive forwards. Okay, so you're receiving the ball now. You're receiving the ball there. Sorry, there is a pause point here. Okay, now our principles when you've got the ball in this area is you've got three different plays. You've got height, you've got width, and you've got depth. Okay, so if you look here, you are theoretically the width on this side of the pitch. We've got the depth here with Max, Jonesy, is that Jonesy, and Matty here. Sorry, Freddie. You've got Max and then Matty here. And then you've got Harrison on the width and Beardsy on the width and Jamie on the height, okay? So our three principles are there in play. If I was to, and you look at this picture here, we've got an overload in the middle. So, and we're actually crowded in this zone. So if you look at this zone, 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2. Okay, so we need to recognise when we're actually overloaded, we've got more players around us than we can drive into, and therefore can we pop it out and maybe create space for yourself. My play here would be get it into the middle, you get on your bike, Beardsley runs down the line, crosses it in through, and then you find the penalty spot for your goal as part of those options. Can you connect with Cutler and then run and go? Good battling for the ball, and you play backwards. Love how you play backwards there. So when you play backwards, that's called we play to a pivot. Now the pivot can play into the middle now, and Cutler theoretically should play one of these two in that we can then get Harrison in. So if that goes into Cutler receives on the back foot, plays to Matty, and Matty can get Harrison away, if that makes sense. Because in this picture, we've got this player that's totally out the game. We've now got the overload, and we could create a little bit of havoc with Beardsy on that left winger position in the same way that we would do if this was in the opposite side on the right-hand side. As it happens, we get ourselves into a bit of danger here. 62, so it's that one there next. Okay, so love this, winning the ball back and playing it quickly. So you're still right striker. Win the ball back, you pop it off quickly, and then look where you end up in this spell. So really, really good play that we find the middle. And then look how we play this to get Harrison onto the ball through the switch. Now look at you getting on your bike, okay? Really good play. And then you're in the box there to receive. Really, really good running. I sent this to the coaches earlier and just said, what if we scored this? Because that would have just been a fantastic goal. Started off by you as well, Davy. So well done, pal. Really positive from you. Okay, so you're still right striker. And I love how you get in front of this player here. This is a really good picture of how we like to play crosses. Now, yes, it could have been stronger, probably could have pulled back a little, connected with Jamie into the middle there. But that's not Beers' native position, left winger. But he's doing a great job there. He's doing a fantastic job for us. And you nearly get in front of the goalkeeper as well. So love that from you, Davey. Absolutely fantastic, mate. Love how you drop deep to get the ball here. So you've now moved into the centre forward position. James on the right. You know, look at that. You're centre forward, and look how deep you are. I love that from a centre forward. By the way, don't think because you're a number 9 or a centre forward that you have to be the highest man. This is what Bobby Firmino did really, really well for Liverpool in the pomp, and also Wayne Rooney for United. So you receive the ball, and just look how the game could change here. So again, can you see the three options? And this is the language that we will continue to use for you. My first option here by the way, is Freddie Stevens. I think that is the best option for you, because if you look at this option here, and I drew a circle around this part of the pitch here. Let's just pull this open a little so you can see this. Oh, I thought this could get bigger. Yeah. So if you look at this here, look at these two players against this one. So we've got one defender versus Freddie and Jamie. Now, I would back that all day long. I would back those two all day long in that position. So can you have a look? Can you see that pass? You've also got Hughesy. So at the next pause point, you'll see where Hughesy finishes up after you shoot. Just think about how Hughesy could have got into a 1v1 if you slid that through. And then the other option is using the outside or the inside of your right foot, the outside of your left foot, and playing this pass into Beardsley into that channel. And then Beardsley can then play the crossfield pass into Jamie, Freddie, or Hughesy, who's running on. So just look at this pause point now and think, so if we'd slid that across, this defender was coming towards you. He was what we would call pressing headlessly. And look where Hughesy ends up. So we've got a 2v2, and I know who I'd be backing there any day of the week if I had Hughesy and Jamie in a 2v2 situation. So centre forwards here. Wanting the ball to feet, which is great. Okay. Now, this is some of the detail that you'll get from our coaching at Spartan. So what you do here is the easiest thing for a defender to mark against, which is what we would call you're running in front of him. So running in front of him means you're in his eye line. What I would really love from you to do here is actually, can you run on the blind side of him? So if you just pull out a little or move towards this area a little bit further, you're created. So if you're in this space here, you're in his blind side. So what he's having to do is check where you are, which can lose him half a second of decision making, maybe even a second of decision making. And in that half a second, you're already ahead of him, which is what you need against those type of real physical defenders like he was. So if you stay this side, that he would then be undecisive. Usually could sweep that ball around. I've seen him do this 100 times, so I know he's capable of it. He would sweep that ball around and you would be one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So just think about blindside running. As it happens, you pull out probably a little bit too late, and the ball was, because of that gap not being open, the ball wasn't really on to play that gap as it sort of closed up. So blindside running, make sure you're behind the defender instead of in his eye line. So really like this. So this to me is one of the triggers of how you press. So they're playing backwards, and well done for spotting it. Can you curve your run to cut one side of the pitch off? Now, interestingly, if we had the radar on, which I don't know where it's gone, you'd be able to see where we're overloaded. So I would be cutting this side of the pitch off and making sure that, because we've just come from that zone and we're going to be, there's going to be more of our players in that left-hand zone of the pitch. So he plays to his left, so our right-hand side, and they're able to go and break and attack. I think we win the ball back here, don't we? Yeah, so Beardsley wins the ball back. Plays it up top. You go and win it from this player. Go and steal it. Well done. And then you spot that switch. Okay, really like that switch. Now, really like the switch. A couple of things on detail on this. So, if you play this as a ground pass, okay, so the ground pass for me is, you can make that a ground pass, okay, especially with your right foot, you could get that to curl into that space. Now, because it's in the air, look how Jamie tries to control. So there's his opportunity gone. And now he's taken 3 touches and we lose the ball. So the ground pass enables him to take one touch and then gets his shot away. That's the level difference. That's going to be the marginal differences that we need from you, Davy, in the coming weeks. Think about the aerial pass. So again, let's just watch that. If that's a ground pass, you don't have 1, 2. Oh, sorry. That's a ground pass. I'll replay that. You don't have 1, 2, 3 touches and loses it. Okay, we just have 1 touch and play. So again, really good spot. Love the spot. Just the detail on the pass. Okay, so secure the ball here. Okay, so you're in a number 9 position. Think about Bobby Firmino in this situation, or a Raul Jimenez for Wolves. I don't know what team you support. I'm sure I'll find out after this that you won't be a Liverpool fan. Hold on to that ball. These 3 players won't try to press you, but can you bring these players into the game? Okay, so we lose it. Love the hunger for you to go and win that back, by the way. Love that hunger. And this is a ball. So that's the difference in a ground pass. That's the difference with what a ground pass can do for us. And I love the fact that you're playing that through a gap as well. So really, really good play, mate. Really great, really great defending there, or attacking. So look, that concludes the clips. Well done, pal. I think, first game. I know it's the way that we play is quite unique and quite different to a lot of teams. So I understand your frustrations, but don't be frustrated. There was so much positives in there for me. The fact that you were doing stuff that you haven't really been coached on shows me that we've got a huge potential in you. So, head up, keep working hard, keep understanding how we're playing. You might want to watch this back 2 or 3 times so you can get your head around all those pictures. What I want you to be able to do on the football pitch is to see those 3 options consistently. So when you're in those situations on the pitch, you know how to react. And you can spot them in instantaneous instead of having to think. So well done, buddy. All the best. Hope you have a great week at school. Ciao for now.